I want to be the very best. Like, no. Yeah. Hello, everyone. I did that just to try to scare Lori.
Didn't work.
Hello, all you beautiful internet people.
And you ugly people, too.
You're so rude. You're just so
Every
rude.
time.
We're here to tell you about movies. Did you know movies existed? Did you know movies were a thing?
Can I have
Head
some
on down
M&Ms?
to your local... What?
Can I have some M&Ms?
Yeah, you can have some M&Ms. Head on down to your local...
Go watch one of the talkies.
Jesus.
You know there's that place that got that magic screen where people move.
Jesus.
It's like that theater, except there's no people. It's just flat.
The people are in the screen.
Quick, save them.
Let's go see one of them new moving picture shows. What, they talk in this?
Back in my day, you couldn't hear people talk in the movies. You had to listen to some piano and then have to read in between.
Which is actually pretty impressive for the times. That implied they could read. Couldn't do that now in Alabama.
I wish I could read dialogue more when I watch movies because I'm deaf.
What? All right.
I wish that movies had subtitles just in the
too.
theater. Just put subtitles.
You can a lot of them.
No. Like, I wish it was standard, just subtitles.
No, that'd be really bad.
No, because you could actually just normalize it, and people would just get used to it.
I really need
No,
to
I
start
still
because some
think it's bad.
theaters have those headphones that play the audio of the movie.
Why don't you get...
I really need to start looking
Almost
into
every single movie
grabbing
you've ever
one.
went to, they'll give you glasses that are like 3D glasses, and it puts subtitles on the movie.
There's actually a lot of them are not even that great though. Like, it needs to be revamped.
I can see that, but no, don't please. I as someone that always has subtitles and everything he watches, I don't think we should normalize subtitles
But
being on the movies.
think having subtitles the size of your head. You
I
see
like my
that G up there?
subtitles.
That G could eat your face.
But
Especially for
anyways,
like quieter movies. And like when I saw The Witch, it was a problem because the dialogue in that movie is Old English, and so I spent the entire movie being like, "What the fuck is going on?"
maybe that's just a sign of a bad movie.
I can't. No, it's a great movie, but I was like, I can't
How
understand
can
what
you
they're
tell?
saying.
You don't know what was going on.
I'll never forget.
It was fine visually. Like when I rewatched it later, I was like, "Hey, this is a really good movie." At the time, I was like, "I don't know what the fuck's going on."
When The Witch came out, they made a
Which
cool. I mean, all of them.
I genuinely don't know what movie you're talking about.
But no, they made like a Facebook ad where they made like a Facebook filter to make your picture all dark and gloomy and stuff. And the picture that they used to advertise it was a picture of Donald Trump. So it was like angry Donald Trump in this dark and grim thing. It was funny. People were mad.
I really don't know what movie you're talking about.
I don't know. It's that one with a goat.
All right.
I'm thinking of the right one, right?
Yeah.
Ye
Anyways.
old goat man.
Before we get started, let's talk about some news stuff. Take us to our news segment, Johnny.
I
Damn.
hate y'all.
That was an inside joke.
5 o'clock news at 9 flashbacks.
Yeah, but that would have went on for another like 30 seconds if they delayed the Sonic movie.
Oh yeah,
But
I
it's
forgot
to
we were
give the
gonna talk about that.
animators like more time to be able to do things.
But here's the thing. Before that, there were two schools of thought about the whole awful Sonic thing. Well, 3 schools of thought, technically. The first one is it doesn't look that bad. Everyone needs to stop complaining. Other ones, or it's all fake. They did this just to create outrage culture so they could change it and make a new Sonic. Basically, the theory was they had the trailers were fake. Sonic didn't actually look like that. They just did it to outrage fans so people would go see the movies.
And
But-
in a kind of
but now
all
they're
news is good news sort of
Kind of. But now
thing.
it's delayed, and so people think the other thing is true. That the people making the movie think that all Sonic fans are idiots so they can do whatever they want and didn't test the Sonic look at all, and that seems to be more of the
It's like,
case.
I'm sorry, that
To be
look
fair,
was rough.
I don't
like,
care one way or the
I
other.
didn't think it looked that bad.
I don't,
Like that one shot looked kind of iffy, but everything else looked fine.
it's
I
one of
don't know,
those
he
things where
just-
like the teeth were weird to me.
The eyes killed me too. Like it was something about like the eyes and the teeth and
Sonic animated, realistic looking Sonic who has one big double connected eye is gonna look just as bad, but whatever.
I think, well, it's just, it freaked me out, and a person pointed out why, because it genuinely kind of looks like a small man in a suit. Like, it just kind of looks like a person slid on Sonic's skin, and it's just wearing Sonic's body, and it's weird. Like, the proportion, it bothered me.
I wasn't bothered by it. I was just like, eh.
He's gotta go fast, he says as he slips on.
I mean, I do
his
think the
skin.
teeth make it look a bit weird, but I also think it would have looked weirder with actual hedgehog teeth.
Yeah, you're right. It probably would have looked just as weird without teeth. That's just always an issue when you're making something.
Well, you have to
cartoon
realize,
realistic.
so Sonic could go faster. He just took out all his teeth, so it's just gums.
That's all I have to say about it.
Overall, the trailer looked pretty bad anyway.
I feel like
it didn't look like it was gonna be good. So
The theory of it was all fake to begin with is stupid.
I didn't say it was my theory.
I know, but I still think that theory is stupid.
in their defense, though,
That's like John F. Kennedy's head just did that level of dumb theorizing.
But the thing is think about it, because we got that fake Crocodile Dundee with all the Australian actors, and it was fake. It was an advertisement for Australia. Then they did the whole thing where there were all the pictures of Jeff Bridges dressed as the dude again, and it was an advertisement for a beer. Like, they have started making popular fake things to bring.
That was for Super Bowl, though. They've been doing that for years.
I know, but I'm just saying, it's like...
Yeah, but animating, that's just too expensive.
That's kind of my point.
Plus, that design leaked last year.
Well, my thought on it is, one, the theory is giving the people making the movie too much credit. It actually would have been a good idea because, boy, Sonic's fan base is all about outrage culture. It would have been a good idea for them to do that, but I think...
You friggin' pricks!
You have consequences!
Yeah, exactly, but I think, like he said, it's too expensive and they're not that smart, although it would have been a good idea. But, whatever.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know. Jim Carrey's Robotnik did look pretty funny. I don't know that it should have.
I even forgot about that. I forgot that was the same movie because I started making Sporticus jokes from the second that I saw him. And so for everyone of my friends...
Sporticus?
From Lazy Town.
So every single person who posted a picture of Jim Carrey with that like mustache and everything, I just was sharing random gifs of Sporticus because it looks like he could be Sporticus's brother.
Jim Carrey's more of a Robbie Rotten.
I think it was just the mustache made me automatically think of Sporticus. But yeah,
anyways,
definitely a bit more Robbie Rotten.
I mean, I feel like I'm definitely gonna see
Sporticus
this.
looks like Benedict Cumberbatch, and it bothers me all the time.
You guys are so weirdly versed in Lazy Town characters.
I feel like now I have an obligation to see the Sonic movie just because they're taking that extra step to fix it because so many people complained.
I don't think it's going to look much better, personally.
It's really not. Like, there's only so many changes they can make to it, and I feel like even then, the changes they make, people are going to complain about it,
His
so why
legs
even
freak me out.
bother?
I don't know why.
Whose legs?
Sonic's. Human
Oh.
Sonic's legs.
Yeah, it's because his body is too long. The proportions are weird. I think they should just redo the whole movie, but with a real hedgehog. No CGI, no training of the hedgehog. Just let the hedgehog do what he wants, and all the actors just stay on script.
No, actors stay on script, but they try to move really, really slow. That way they can speed up the footage so it looks like the hedgehog is moving fast.
I just want a 4-hour movie of a hedgehog going super, super fast.
I mean, it's just,
like
my
Daytona
thing is,
Speedway.
I understand that there's a lot of Sonic the Hedgehog fans out there, but it's like, this movie's for kids.
I want a Sonic movie with 15 Sonic OCs
Is it,
in
though?
it.
Sonic's, at this point, isn't really a franchise for kids.
I mean, they
I
have
feel
they have a Sonic TV show on
Yes,
Cartoon
but
Network.
it is totally intentionally being marketed towards...
I feel that they wanted to compete with Detective Pikachu.
Yeah. I feel like they were trying to make something...
I don't
between-
know, because I don't feel like it's competing.
I feel like they were trying to make it compete.
Mm-hmm.
That's what Sega does.
I'm not going to lie. I honestly think that this wouldn't have been as big of a deal had Detective Pikachu not been out, because we got such a cute, fluffy, real version of a like Pikachu where you're like, oh my god, I want to hold.
There's that.
And
but
then
I
Sonic
definitely-
comes out, and you're like, ah!
I definitely don't think Sonic was a competitive reaction to Detective Pikachu.
Well, I don't think it was a competitive reaction, but I think they're
they just
trying
happened to be
make
coming out
it.
around the same time.
I think they tried to make it a competitive thing, though.
Either Sega did or the fans did. It doesn't really matter which one.
Well, humans by nature are going to compare, and those things would definitely be.
I feel like
My
it's a fan
thing is
thing,
better than
then.
your thing.
They're
That's
both,
all it
They're both
is.
video game characters that are cartoons
I feel like
that
the
have a
idea
nostalgia
of-
factor, and they both have a real movie coming out with a CGI version of the character.
I feel like the idea of businesses competing is all just a fan thing. Like people see the fan bases competing, and they just assume that the businesses are competing as well.
I don't know.
I mean, but they are.
I feel like
I wouldn't say that they always are.
I feel like from what I've seen of Sega, that's kind of what they do. Sega's very much about, oh, I like that idea. I could totally do it better. No, they can't, and they try.
I don't know. I feel like Sonic movie's been in development a lot longer than Detective Pikachu has, though.
Probably, yeah.
It may have.
Which is true with most Sonic things, and they still end up coming out like crap.
I don't care about Sonic, so
I don't either for that exact reason.
Sonic.
Sonic is like, to quote Yahtzee, it's like swimming through
Bingo.
a sea of poo to find the golden nugget. I'm not gonna play all these crap games just to find the one good one. Like I'm good. But
All right. So, what's next? Robert Pattinson is Batman.
Batman.
I'm very happy about this.
I don't know how I
This
feel
is
about
the
that.
second time he is playing a Batman, because vampires turn into
They don't turn into
bats
bats in Twilight.
They don't, but in vampire lore, they do.
Anyways, I'm very excited about this because Robert Pattinson's a great actor.
I haven't seen
and
him in anything.
Too many
but
people
I
I'm
also
gonna give him a
haven't
shot.
seen him in anything, so I
are
have
sleeping
no opinion.
on. Or he's still the dude from Twilight for so many people because no one bothered to keep up with
It's
his.
funny though, because he hates Twilight.
I know, it's the thing. He's actually a really good actor.
It's like I legit I haven't seen him in anything, but it's like
Do you have
I
Amazon
mean,
Prime?
yeah.
Watch the movie Good Time.
Okay,
Like literally the entire movie.
is a good time.
It's a good time, yeah. But like the entire movie, like rests on his shoulders because he's the main character and he.
That's pretty impressive because the
he
dude is
carries
built.
that movie.
So I mean, I'm sure he can lift it.
But he's so good. Like that's the only other movie I've seen him in that wasn't Twilight, other than Harry Potter.
Oh, he was in that, wasn't he?
And he's so good in that movie in Good Time that I forgot it was him.
Really?
I was like, he disappears into the role he's playing so well that he just became that character to me.
When I hear that, I just like to think of an actor like just hiding behind the set for the whole movie. Like he really disappeared into this movie. I didn't see
There was
him
a
like
problem.
the whole
We couldn't
time.
film it. We didn't
There
know where he
a
was at.
problem. We didn't.
But yeah, he's a good
Robert,
actor.
Where are you?
He's a good actor, and I can't wait to see what he does with his Batman.
I mean, I'm excited. It's like but
Thing
I have
is-
weird opinions about Batman anyway. I feel I'm like one of like the 1% that did not like Christian Bale as Batman. So
I can understand that.
I don't really care about Christian Bale as Batman. I think a lot of people could have played that Batman. The writing for those Batman movies were so good it didn't really matter a whole lot.
That's the thing is that
He did a good job, but the writing of that movie, that's the thing. Doesn't matter how good Robert Pattinson is, like he's not going to do good if they give him a crap script.
That's the thing about the Batman. What's so hard to write about Batman is that Batman should be the character that the audience is invested in.
Yeah.
But every Batman movie, they focus so much on the villains
Yeah.
that Batman just kind of fades away. That's why I like Ben Affleck's Batman so much. It's because they actually focused on the character
Well,
and
see,
not
It's a shame.
the
it just
villain.
wasn't
That's the thing with
written all
what's his
that
face is
great.
Batman's.
Batman.
Who made him? I can't remember. The Christian Bale Batman movies. Who made those movies?
Nolan.
3.
Was it Nolan?
Christopher
Was-
Nolan, yeah.
Yes, I
The
know
first
stuff.
movie, the first Christopher Nolan Batman movie, it very much was about Batman. You didn't even know who the bad guy was for most of the movie.
Mhm.
Like, and
That
it
was
was
the-
great. The second one was Heath Ledger's Joker, which was amazing, and it was just equally as much about Joker as it was Batman. They were kind of two sides of the same coin. And the third Batman was just all about Bane, and it
really was
not great.
Because I went and saw that one, and I was
I agree with your sentiment completely on that point, is my point.
Because I left that movie loving Bane.
But yeah, that's the problem. Is
Wasn't even a
that
good
if they can
version
make
of
this
Bane.
movie about Batman,
Didn't Tom Hardy play Bane?
yes.
Because they
Nice.
covered his face. That's how you know it's him. Have you not seen that joke?
Oh.
Because have you seen what's the other movie? There's a couple other ones, but the main one I think of is
Dark Knight Rises, Mad Max Fury Road, and Dunkirk.
yeah.
I haven't seen Dunkirk.
And in Fury Road, his face is covered the whole time. It's just the Tom Hardy joke at this point.
In Venom, he's covered by Venom's face on
That's
too.
true, but only for like half of the movie.
But see, his face is covered by Venom or by like crippling anxiety.
Ooh,
so.
speaking of Venom, I read a rumor. I don't know if it's true or not, but apparently Sony wants Marvel Studios to use Tom Hardy's Venom in Spider-Man 3, and Marvel Studios is like, no.
Oh.
No, we are not. They don't, but I agree, because
Yeah,
they
I
don't
don't
like
think
the
they'd
idea
mesh
of
well.
outside movies being incorporated, because
That's a
it
good point.
devalues the brand.
It's fair enough.
And that could become a real slippery slope real quick.
It's also got two very different tones to it.
Yeah.
Like,
Which, I mean, I'd like to see Venom in the MCU, but if they don't
I'll
do it,
happily
I don't care.
just sit there and watch separate Venom movies. It don't have to be part of the MCU. I'll watch Tom
How come we're
Hardy
getting
hop around
Mysterio
sweating.
and Venom, and they're both not bad guys? What's that about?
What?
We
I
got
thought
Venom.
Mysterio's going to be a bad guy.
No, apparently not. He's there to save the world.
What?
I don't trust it.
How come we got a Venom movie and a Spider-Man with Mysterio, and neither one of them are the bad guys in those movies?
No, Mysterio is the bad guy.
I was going to say, I mean...
Mysterio's whole thing just tricks and illusions. That dude's gonna be like, I fooled you all.
Bamboozled!
Well, maybe, but from what we've seen so far, he's like, oh man, the world's ending, better help save
But
it.
see, he's a
No.
mystery. Oh,
He's controlling the elementals. Like, straight up. There's like, you can't even pretend he's not.
My favorite thing is, like, his name is Mysterio. There's not a good... Like, that's not a superhero's name.
It's not a
it's
villain's
like-
name either. It's a
He's gonna
stage
be like,
magician's
haha,
name.
my name is truly the Bamboozler.
But like literally when the trailers came out and they started saying like Marvel and them were talking about like Mysterio was gonna team up with Spider-Man, literally everyone was like, there's a twist coming because Mysterio's bad guy.
Mysterio,
and
bad man.
we know he's a bad guy and he's gonna do something bad because that's his whole thing is tricks and illusions.
I thought his whole thing was wearing fish bowls.
Fish bowl. It looks so cool.
He's like from that Panic at the Disco music video.
Anyways.
I'm very surprised they went with Fishbowl Mysterio, but it does look pretty good.
It looks so good.
Fishbowl Mysterio.
You can't do Mysterio
is gonna
without
be
the
name
fishbowl.
Of my first Ralph
You just
album.
can't. The fishbowl is like Mysterio's trademark.
God, Mysterio in the cartoons has got to be like one of the cheesiest characters.
If you take away the fishbowl, then what's the point?
I love that the
Everything
fishbowl,
else.
What's the
Everything else
point?
is the point.
I love that the fishbowl is just like so opaque, so you can't see anything. Because had it not been, I like picture that it just magnifies his head and like gives a weird concave to it. So it's like big head.
At the behest of
That's a Photoshop I'm gonna have to do when I get home.
making a
Thank you.
Marvel fan writes Deadpool dialogue person here. I think it would be funny if at one point Spider-Man called Mysterio Bubble Boy.
I love how you said writes Deadpool dialogue as like a fancy speak for I once role played as Deadpool in a Marvel role play
I was a
group.
damn good Deadpool, and you know it.
You were fantastic.
I will never ever reach that
It was
level
so
of
much fun.
because that was when I was still reading the Deadpool comic. So like
That was one of the funniest
the
group
personality
RPs
of
we ever did, though.
Deadpool was like fresh in my mind, and I was on fire that night.
So like was it you who ended up just like inviting me into it or something? And it's like there was this group over here who you could tell everyone was like kind of flirting with their ships and stuff like that. And then you had William as Deadpool, and I was like, oh my god, I don't know who to be. So I just on the fly made an OC shield agent named Black Dove.
What's funny
And-
about that night? I mained as Coulson. that one night I did Deadpool. And on my laptop, I was Coulson, and on the family computer, I was Deadpool. So I was jumping back and forth between Coulson and Deadpool.
But my favorite
doing an
thing was,
amazing
it was
job.
like what? Bruce like hulked out and jumped out Stark Tower's thing, like out Stark Tower's window.
No, but the thing is, the funny thing is,
I love that we still remember this.
I, as Coulson, was hanging out with Bruce at a restaurant across town while also being Deadpool at Avengers Tower. So I was having to keep up with the conversation I was having with Bruce Banner and also be Deadpool annoying everyone in Avengers Tower.
But it's like
and it all just converged.
My favorite part was me and Deadpool are looking down because, like, you know, Tony like flies down and, you know, all this. And I kind of looked down at Deadpool and I was like, how are we gonna get down? And Deadpool's like, it's easy. And he just like grabs me and throws me
Pushed her off
the
the side
tower.
of the building. But the best part was, as I were trying to stop the Hulk, I, as Coulson, am trying to minimize damage and take control of the situation, while simultaneously, as Deadpool, trying to make the situation worse. It was so much
It's like
fun.
playing chess against yourself.
But
Oh, it
instead
was
of
the
it
best.
being two serious people playing chess, you got one person actually trying to play and another person
Who just
is
brought checker
like,
pieces to the game.
who is
King me!
like, every move, king me.
Oh, it was great.
Check. God, I think I still have that picture too.
I still have the actual drawing I did.
Really?
It's in a file folder,
William drew a picture of my character as a shield agent and his character as Deadpool. And it said Deadpool and Black Dove.
Jesus,
Anyways,
I didn't realize how nerdy you
moving on
pieces
from
were.
It
that.
was so great. I miss fandom whenever like role play was a
I do
big
too.
thing. 'Cause
Fandom used to be fun back in 2012.
It really helped me keep my writing like going because it's just easier to if you want to play around with writing and stuff like that, but you don't want to have to think about world building, character building. You play
But-
already
good stuff.
established characters.
Fandom just didn't feel as toxic back then as it does now. Like,
it really didn't.
I guess because like the MCU was still more or less in its infancy at that point.
All fandoms are toxic.
And it was
I gonna
still-
but the thing is it wasn't even just the MCU fandom. Like fandom,
Every fandom
yeah,
were
it
still.
just it was a nicer, simpler time.
It was a lot simpler time.
I mean, there was some
Now-
fandom wars. Don't get me wrong.
Now I can't even be bothered to talk
it's
to
like-
anyone about things I like because
It's like
just
I'm glad
a
we're out of the
hassle.
point of threatening female actresses who are getting in the way of ships and stuff like that.
Are we?
For the most part, because it used to be a lot of female fans sending those death threats.
I was about to say.
The female part of fandom has become a lot less toxic.
It was like I remember not that
White
long
dudes-
ago when
White dudes just took all of that toxicity and decided to go right in at it.
I was like, it wasn't that long
You
ago
can
that
send me hate mail at nerdlykingdom@gmail.com. Do it, you cowards.
Please put something like I don't know, put like Lori in the subject of that way I know not to read it. But I was about to say, I remember not that long ago the Last Jedi came out and
Mm.
I can't
I
think of her
mean-
name off the top of my head.
But yeah, it's like, it's still a thing, but I mean, from the standpoint of my female fandom group.
Like what's your face in
Like-
Supernatural?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like Joe and Ellen.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
Fandoms were just simpler times back then.
And everything. I'm really thankful they kind of got out of that. The actress who plays Meg got it.
Old Meg or New Meg?
New Meg.
I
Because she
hated
got
New
in the
Meg.
way. She got in the way of Destiel.
No, I don't care about that. I just think New Meg was rubbish.
Oh, I love New Meg. There was something about her voice.
Rubbish. I don't know. I just like the old Meg better.
It's cool because I
We're
like.
eventually going to talk about Detective
Because
Pikachu, I promise.
I like old Ruby better than new Ruby. As much as I love.
You know what? I'm confusing Meg and Ruby. You're right. New Meg, old Ruby. I'm in that boat. Got him
That's what I was
confused.
gonna say.
I don't.
My bad,
Brunette
bad.
Meg, blonde Ruby.
I'm so far out of Supernatural, I forget everyone now.
What are the characters from Supernatural names?
Sam,
Scooby, Shaggy,
Velma.
Who's the other one? Sam and
George, Dean.
Dean. Okay, yeah, that's it. Dean and Sam.
I take
So-
it back. I'm not as bad as I thought I was.
I have friends of mine that like Supernatural, and it was funny because one
Oh, I'm
night
sorry.
we were drinking and they're brothers, and the older brother was going up to his little brother, my friend, and was like, "Now remember, I'm Dean and you're Sam." All night he was just like, "You're Sam," and then at one point we came to the conclusion he was Dean, he was Sam, and I was Castiel. I was like, I've never even watched the show, so I don't know.
Moving right along, Detective Pikachu.
Pikachu.
Two of us saw it. I don't even know why she's here.
I saw Detective Pikachu.
I just wanted to have friends.
This is what I have to say about Detective Pikachu. Detective Pikachu is possibly the best video game movie of all time. Is it the best movie of all time? Absolutely not.
But did you go into it hoping for the best movie of all time?
Absolutely not.
Exactly.
It's a good kids movie.
I agree. I think as a non-Pokemon fan, it's maybe a 6. But as a Pokemon fan, it might be
What about
an
as a
8 or a
Ryan
9.
Reynolds fan?
You probably put you up there pretty high.
This is I would say this Ryan Reynolds is what's a Ryan Reynolds movie that's not really a Ryan Reynolds movie, but just a movie with Ryan Reynolds in it?
He did that movie like
I don't know. He's in Life.
What is it called?
But that's
It's
a completely
something
different
about
kind
where
of
like
movie.
his wife tries to surprise him by giving him like an extra hour in the morning, but she actually moves the time wrong. So he's an hour late for everything. And he's like this man that's like super structured throughout his whole day, so it just completely ruins everything. And he ends up like in a hotel room with a girl who plays Elliot in Scrubs.
I don't know. But anyways,
It's like that.
It's like that.
Just like that.
the
There's
funny
a movie
thing,
where he plays a teacher who has cancer.
He's
It's
in
a
Life
really
with
sad
Jake
and touching
Gyllenhaal,
movie.
but that movie's
Yeah.
completely
It's a
different.
really good movie.
anyways,
Made me cry.
the funny thing is, on my way here, I was listening to our Bohemian Rhapsody podcast, and we talked about Detective Pikachu during that because that's when the first trailer had come out. And I had mentioned that I hated the idea of Ryan Reynolds as Pikachu because I didn't think it fit. But watching the movie, I like it. I mean, it works. It works.
I like it.
But the thing is like it's not like Ryan Reynolds as we know Ryan Reynolds. It's definitely just Ryan Reynolds voicing Pikachu.
Kind of.
But that's the thing too, is I'm so used to Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool at this point that I feel like Ryan Reynolds has just become a meme.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like I forget Ryan Reynolds is an actor
Well, and it's crazy
that
too
can do different stuff.
because him as Deadpool is pretty much his voice. Like, I mean, you know, it's like he acts in the suit and stuff, but it's the voice association that you have.
You
And
don't
so
think Ryan Reynolds got as far as he did off of his good looks alone?
No, but the thing is, Ryan Reynolds as Pikachu
That was good.
worked until a certain point in the movie where I was just like, okay, now it's weird that Ryan Reynolds is Pikachu, and I'll talk more about that later.
Well, yeah. It all makes sense in the end.
Yeah, but it's just weird.
It didn't even occur to me, like, Pikachu in that movie is, like, very caffeine addicted. That actually, they don't explain it, but now that I just realized the reason he's addicted to caffeine is the same reason he is Ryan Reynolds' voice. Like, just now made that connection. Anyways,
General thoughts.
general thoughts.
I really did like the movie.
I absolutely like the movie. I think even as a kid's movie, it's too basic. Like, even as a kid's movie.
Really?
Yeah, basic.
Yes.
I feel like it was.
Even the smallest of children who's ever seen a movie before, there's this one point, and it's not really spoiling it, where the two main characters fight and storm off and go in separate directions. No one was thinking that there was any real threat there. Even the smallest child wasn't like, oh no, they
yeah.
split up. Like, no, they didn't care.
I mean, I get
Ah.
that. Oh my god. No, I'm
That was
bald.
rude.
We were talking about Supernatural, and that's the scream from Supernatural in that one episode.
Anyways, I
Lori
agree
was
with
Instagram.
that. That was
Actually,
and
I
it's-
was on TikTok.
Nice.
But yeah.
And it's also that scene is completely moot. He finds out this cool backstory thing, and then the other character figures it out like immediately while they're split up. It's like it's the most wasted 30 minutes any movie has ever wasted. But that's my biggest complaint about the movie.
I agree with that. Yeah.
That's really my only complaint about the movie.
The only other complaint I have isn't really a complaint, but I'm gonna save that for when we talk about spoilers.
I have a theory about what it might be, and it's just them showing off Pokemon a little bit too much in a really weird way.
Yes.
I as a lover of that particular kind of Pokemon, that was the coolest goddamn thing I've ever seen in my entire life. It was completely irrelevant and didn't fit in the movie in any way, but holy crap, I loved it.
It's
So,
like pants-shittingly awesome.
it was fan service to the highest degree. Absolutely. Completely unnecessary fan service. And so, any complaint anyone has about it, absolutely valid. But I loved it.
I mean, sometimes like cheesy fan service can be
But
fun.
it did take up a lot more of the movie than it should have.
And it has some very scary implications as well.
Indeed.
And that's like the biggest problem I had with it. But I'll talk more about it after we get through general thoughts.
I agree with that.
Other than that,
I feel like it was, compared to the game, it got very Hollywooded.
I've never played the game, so I don't know what the game was about.
I've played bits of it and I've seen people play it, but the plot very much got the Hollywood treatment with the full-on, like, a bit too many coincidences, forced romantic subplot, which really wasn't that bad in this movie. It's really weird. The movie focused on Pokemon too much. There's a female protagonist in this movie. Her Pokemon companion has more depth to it than she did. And I feel like that was a bit of an issue.
However,
there's
are you
only-
talking about the girl that has Psyduck?
Yes.
Yes, I agree with that. But also at the same time, I feel like she overacted so much that it felt like they plucked that character straight out of the TV show.
That's okay. I could give you that.
Because the whole movie, I was like, is this intentional or is she just bad?
That's actually a fair point. That's really the main complaints I have about the movie. Go see the movie. It's fantastic. Do not see it in 3D. I saw it in 3D
Why would I
and got
go
so
see it in
sick.
3D?
I had to see it in 3D because it was either that or wait another 3 hours because of the showings
fair
were.
enough.
And it's one of those movies where the 3D was done after the fact, and those make me so sick.
I didn't even know there was a 3D.
Oh
version of
man,
that
I
movie.
thought I was gonna throw up. It took me so long to adjust to the movie. Just thinking about it makes me
the
sick.
movie is great. I had the best time watching it. I'm pretty sure I annoyed everyone sitting around me because every time there was a Charmander on screen, I went, ooh!
You're just as
I
bad
made
as
a
like the
noise.
4-year-olds that were behind us that kept screaming.
Dude, I love Charmander so much. And every time there was a Charmander on screen, I got so excited. The Charizard fight was cool. The whole movie was cool. The Cubone was the cutest shit.
Yeah, it's so funny. There really is. The Pokemon got a lot more. There was a lot more riding around these Pokemon than there was most of the human characters.
Psyduck was amazing.
It had so much, and there's a lot of stuff about it that I didn't immediately register until I was listening to someone else's review of it, and they pointed out. And I'll go over that in the spoilers if you remind me. Just
Okay.
talk about Psyduck thing, but for the most part, I think everyone should see it. I think you shouldn't be, because I was gonna go into it about the critics. There's so many critics that are hating on this movie simply because it's Pokemon. Don't be that person. Like,
It's a kids' movie.
it's one. It's a kids movie, and it does better for adults than most kids movies do. And two, like, I get people not hating a movie because it's a certain franchise. I do that about certain movies, but I also try to do that in places that I feel are justified, because I feel like the franchise it is literally cares nothing about its fan base and is just milking them for money. And I don't think Pokemon does that. Like, they made new Pokemon games. They split up the Pokemon games into separate games, so it has easier access for more people. This is a thing that cares about the people that are part of it.
Yeah.
So don't just be like, oh, it's just part of a multi-million-dollar franchise. Well, that may be true, but there's a reason it got to this high, and it wasn't by manipulating people. So just let people enjoy it.
Yeah. I love how much personality they put into all the Pokemon in the movie.
Even the ones like at random backgrounds.
Yeah, like it's such a great job. And there's one other thing I wanted to say. Crap. Oh, I love that for some Pokemon they didn't go with the Pokemon just say their names, like the Bulbasaurs. I like that the Bulbasaurs just made noises instead of Bulbasaur.
I was gonna say that I think it gives it a bit more of a realistic.
Yeah, it felt better without having to hear Bulbasaur force out a Bulbasaur like some 40-year-old chain-smoking woman.
I feel like Pikachu and Psyduck were the only ones that actually said their names, and that's just because their grunts basically are their names even when they're not.
Yeah, you're kind of right.
It's like
I can't remember if Cubone did or not. I can't remember if Cubone said Cubone at all or just screamed.
That was a bad line.
Like,
not many people can wear the skull of their relatives. But
oh yeah, I know, dude. That was cringe.
That's a little bit spoiler.
But whatever.
That was in the trailer.
Well, I mean, but it was already kind of known about Cubone, right?
I don't know.
Yeah, but that's what makes it so cringe. Is that, I don't know. Whatever, don't matter.
Anyways,
It was a good movie.
that's as far as we can really go without spoilers. I think you should like it. I think it's weird that most of the weird twists that they tried to add were in the trailer, so they kind of fell flat, but whatevs.
I don't remember the trailers, so.
It doesn't matter. It really doesn't. That's the whole thing, is like any twist they try to do, like bum bum bum, I was like, no. They like, and I know I'm not saying that as someone that sees most twists coming. I'm saying someone is like, that was just not great writing, honestly. It just wasn't great, but it's fine. It's fine. Overall, great movie. I feel like the first half of that movie was way better than the second half because they weren't, I don't know. It just felt it was more character based and not unless. A lot of people complain that weren't like. You just broke your mic stand. It's this one, the twisty thing here.
The middle boy.
It is interesting. The whole movie takes place in a city
that makes sense.
The whole movie takes place in a city that ice injury thing. The whole movie takes place in a city that doesn't Pokemon battle. It's actually against the rules law, and so people like catch Pokemon by like asking them.
It's saved.
Oh, regardless. I really enjoyed it. So that's it for our no spoilers, unless you have something else to add. Okay, let's go into spoilers. Okay, and 5, 4, 3, 2. I was going to sing the iCarly song, but I can't remember it.
Pikachu gets snapped.
You see, somehow the world will change for
I was
me,
starting to
and
sing
Snape
it.
kills Dumbledore.
Jesus.
Mewtwo collects all the Infinity Stones.
Ooh. Does instead of snapping, can he do like that weird thing with his hand that he does in the movie? I don't know. I used to sit. I don't know.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Because I used to sit outside and do that. One day it actually got dark and started storming, and I got really scared.
Jesus. Okay, so
I was an only child with a vivid imagination.
there is a scene.
Up.
The only good. Okay, I talked about the scene where they split up, which was the most forced thing I'd ever seen. It was the classic, like, oh, if I had just listened for 3 more seconds, this wouldn't be an issue. Blah blah blah. Oh my god. Oh, I just figured out a weird plot twist. While the other guy experiences the same thing. It's like, oh, and he even says in the movie, it's like, oh, I guess all that stuff I found out was for nothing. Like, he's cognizant of the fact that the movie just wasted our time. Like, Pikachu straight up says the movie just wasted our time. How does that make it into... Anyways, the only good thing about that movie is that Ryan Reynolds playing Pikachu is sad and is walking, singing the theme to Pokemon. And that is, if that's not a mood that I relate to. It's just, I want to be the very best. Like no one ever was. Pum, 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 pum. And I was like, oh my god, that is a relatable mood right there.
So the joke is, fun fact, that actually wasn't scripted. Ryan Reynolds wanted that part so bad, and they had originally told him no. And he got super drunk and sat outside the director's house and sadly sung that song, and the director put a mic, like held his phone out and recorded it, and it made it into the movie.
It was so great, and it really fit in the movie too with that one bit. But that's it. That's all the spoiler I had to say.
One thing.
Actually,
No,
that's not true at all. But
several things. Okay, so
1.
the
Is a number.
Pikachu voiced by Ryan Reynolds is explained.
Mhm.
Turns out Pikachu is the Pokemon of the main character's Detective Dad, who is played by Ryan Reynolds. And it's so weird because I'm like...
That's why you can hear him talk.
Yeah.
is because it's the spirit of his dad in the
Because
Pokemon.
Mewtwo merges their consciousness into
We're just
Pikachu.
ruining the movie, but there's literally no spoilers about this movie. That
I mean,
like,
I
if
do
you knew,
feel it's like this isn't one of those movies where I'm like, oh my
if
god,
you
why did
knew
you spoil it?
if
I'm
you
still
knew
just gonna go see
every
it.
plot point of this movie, it would not detract from how much fun this movie is.
Yeah.
This
But
is
it's like-
this is like if you had told me how like the first Lego movie ended, and I'd be
I
like,
don't know. I'd be
Oh.
that was some deep stuff on that one,
But anyways, at the end, it's Ryan Reynolds and him
which would have
and
been
the
way
kid
funnier had it been Danny DeVito.
reconcile. But it's just weird because I don't buy Ryan Reynolds as that kid's dad. I just don't. And it's funny because it's not even like a made up Ryan Reynolds. It's literally just Ryan Reynolds like walked on set. He's wearing his glasses. He's just there, and I'm like, this
he
just
cameoed in his own movie.
it just I don't know. It was weird to me because
Kind of, yeah.
because I was watching it and I was like, yeah, I don't buy Ryan Reynolds being this kid's dad, but whatever.
Originally, he was only supposed to play the dad, and then he got drunk and sang that song, and they're like, well, we have to make him voice
But
Pikachu
question
now.
number
So they
2:
kicked Danny DeVito out.
how did that kid not recognize his dad's voice? Like at no point in that movie is he just like, you kind of sound like my dad.
He hadn't seen him in 20 years. He didn't know what dad sounds like.
I don't remember what my
That
dad
kid's
sounds
like
like.
12. Like,
No, he's like
No, he's like in his
30 something.
He's in his
I don't
20s.
believe that.
Like,
He's like
graduating
28,
college or
29.
something in that
I don't
movie.
believe he is clearly
Here's
12,
the thing.
learning to
Here's
ride a
the real thing.
bicycle.
'Cause here's the real thing that bugs me.
A
In
real
his
thing?
room, in his dad's house, he's got a poster up that it's a championship battle, Steelix versus Articuno. So are we implying that in this world, not like the Pokemon world where we're the main characters, or where multiple people can catch a Pokemon even though there's only supposed to be one of them, someone actually caught this one Pokemon that only one exists and is forcing it to battle, and that's okay? They actually did that with the unique Pokemon in this universe? That is messed up.
What if no one owns the Articuno and it just comes down and fights and then takes snacks and leaves?
I mean, that's fine then. I mean, just...
Okay,
I guess
one
maybe
thing-
they could ask it. Like, best thing about the Pokemon...
No, the Articuno actually comes down to like destroy the city, and so they have to have like a really cool Pokemon to fight. And they thought, capitalist society, let's make money off this.
I mean, yeah, sure. Granted, the Steelix would do pretty good against the Articuno.
So, one thing. So, I enjoyed watching the movie, and so I didn't care to try to think ahead of what was going on. I was like, I'm just going to figure it out because I don't give a shit. So, the Ditto twist
That
actually surprised me.
That is possibly the only actual twisty thing about this movie I enjoyed.
But the cool thing about
And
it is...
oh my god, that was nightmare fuel.
Yes, it was.
Okay, and here's the thing, about to get real nerdy. Dittos don't do that, all right? Only the one Ditto in the cartoon did that.
He made a really great
Okay,
alliteration right
but I wanna
then,
say
and it
this real
made
quick.
me happy.
The thing is about that twist, they set that twist up earlier in the movie. And the thing is, I knew Dittos couldn't do that. So I was like, whoa, that's cool.
Yeah, it's
But
true.
like
That's true.
I didn't expect that to be a thing.
Well, I was talking about the face.
Oh yeah. That
Only that
too.
one Ditto's supposed to do that, but it's fine. It's fine. It's just what we come to expect from thanks to the
But
cartoon.
like when it happened the first time,
the Ditto's face.
Yeah, well, see, okay, we're gonna ruin it. He's genetically engineered a Ditto that can change into people on the fly, but when he does, they keep the face, they keep the eyes. So
that's
they always,
horrifying.
he always wears sunglasses. So
that's
I'll just say
clever.
it's a flaw in the genetic thing.
Great
Probably.
cheap cosplay.
but the great thing is about the twist
It's nasty.
is that the setup to the twist is so memorable because I was like, holy shit, what? That when the twist actually happens, I was like, motherfucker, I saw that coming because they set it up so perfectly. But they don't even, the way they set it up in the background,
Yeah,
and that's the cool thing.
that's
is
a
like,
good setup.
It's like they set it up in the background, but it's such a memorable thing that you remember it.
It's in the background, but it takes. The thing is, it's technically in the background, but it's center stage and action happening.
Yeah.
And so, like, it's one of those things that you're gonna see no matter what, but you register it as background.
But it's
stuff.
cool because when it happens, it didn't do one of those like flashback to the scene to show you. They made the setup memorable enough that when it happened, you're just like, oh, okay. And now the other thing, the one that's really cool but with terrifying implications, Kaiju Torterras.
Yeah. Okay. You know what a Torterra is? Torterra Pokemon.
know what a tortilla is.
Damn it, Lori. That's not a Pokemon.
A tortera.
It's delicious, though.
A tortera is a Also, I like to point out they use the show sizes, not the game sizes, which is important.
Wait, no, that's tortellini. Hold on.
Because, Charizard in the game is shorter than I am, if you go by the Pokedex entry.
No, I don't know what that one is.
So, just saying.
If it ain't one, the original 151, I don't know it.
But imagine that literal size of a mountain. They're walking on a mountain.
Climb every mountain.
Like, they couldn't find them because it said it was like the Torterra sanctuary. And then they stand up and, like, literally they're the size of mountains moving around. And it was the coolest thing I'd ever seen.
The thing is...
But he is right.
The way that scene starts... That scene lasts a long time before it gets to the actual reveal.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I didn't catch it at first. So I was like, what the fuck is happening?
I knew immediately.
What's going on?
That's one of those things I called it.
And then when it revealed, I was like, oh, duh.
I was ready for it. I wanted it to happen so much that I saw it coming.
But, like, it just started with this, like, Inception, like, the ground was folding.
Yeah, you wouldn't have been surprised if it
And
just
I
went
was
boom and things started folding in on themselves.
Like, I just sat there. I thought I was, like, hallucinating or dying because I was like, what the fuck is happening? What's causing this? And then once it starts to I was like, oh, duh, I'm an idiot.
Okay.
They set that up, like, in the scene prior to this.
Pokemon stuff. Two things. One, and I think you'll enjoy this, Lori.
I'm listening.
Psyduck, if he gets too stressed out, he does a sonic wave that, like, blows up.
Relatable.
So this Psyduck knows that people know that and uses it to blackmail Pikachu into doing his stuff because he's like, I'm gonna explode. And so he, like, forces Pikachu to, like, give him foot massages and listen to this music. And so seeing this Pokemon take advantage of the type of Pokemon he is to manipulate the people is just hilarious to me and shows that the Pokemon have more personality than the humans in this movie did.
I have a new icon.
And it's great.
The funny thing is, when he finally releases that blast from the headache, Maggie leaned over to me and said, me.
Relatable.
Second thing, the end of the Mr. Mime scene. Like,
Oh, yeah. They straight up kill that bitch.
I know! Like, holy crap! That went too far for a kid's movie. Like, that legitimately went too far. Okay, so the Mr. Mime thing, they're doing the whole good cop, bad cop thing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he puts up the wall and Pikachu can't get through. Well, the way the guy gets through, because the whole point of this scene is the fact that he really is good with Pokemon. He just hates Pokemon because his dad deals with Pokemon. And so he immediately deals with, like, that's the thing. They even said, okay, I'm eventually going to get to my point. But earlier on in the movie, Pikachu's like, it's okay. I can talk to Pokemon, you can talk to people. But in that scene, he's completely unable to talk to the Mr. Mime, and the human guy is the one that does it. And so that was the whole point, like, twisting everything Pikachu just said there on its head. And so he gets through his stuff like, Mr. Mime puts up the wall, and the human gets through it by, like, outlining a door and then turning the knob and walking in. And so with Mr. Mime, if you mime it, it becomes real. And so they're playing good cop, bad cop. And then to get information, he pours gasoline on him and lights a match. Like, and it's a long scene of him pouring gasoline, and you're, like, hearing the sounds and backing up and doing it and lighting a match. And this Mr. Mime looks legitimately terrified. It's like, this is a kid's movie. Like, what is happening?
The scene ends with him dropping the fake match and high-fiving Pikachu, and in the background you see Mr. Mime looking terrified.
Yeah.
Because they kill him.
That's horrifying.
Because even when that scene over, I was like, wait, did they just fucking kill Mr. Mime?
I guess. Yeah.
It's so dark.
Like, holy crap. But other than that, it was a really good scene. I mean, even that was a pretty good scene. But, like, for a kid's movie,
You know, but for one of them to have a weird, disturbing scene, it would definitely be Mr. Mime because he's such a weird, disturbing Pokemon anyway.
But they made He's
a popular Pokemon with apparently single mothers.
I'm getting my
that's
G.
actual, like, Pokemon.
Yeah, I know.
Weird.
Yeah. That's just the thing. That's because they're humanoid Pokemon. They have thumbs. That's really the important part of that, is they can actually pick stuff up to clean. Yeah, I get where you're going, but whatever.
Okay.
That's such a... overused joke in the Pokemon universe that everyone you say that to is just me like, ah. But they made a G-rated movie where they torture someone by pouring gasoline on him. They got a. I think so. I don't think it was PG-13.
No, it's a PG. I think
PG?
because
Okay, that's
curse
fine.
words.
Even so,
Let me look this up and see.
they got away
Continue.
with torturing someone by pouring gasoline on them in a PG movie.
It's PG.
That's pretty impressive. Like, that's...
So going back to the Torterra, the scene's great, but like
Way too long.
it irritated me that like the main character wasn't like, hey guys, that whole valley out there is giant Torterras. Are we gonna do something about that? That's scary. But it never comes back up again.
I'm sure they told someone at some point, somewhere.
Like, that bothered me so much because I'm like, this is a big deal. Like, those things could, like, just wander on over here and destroy the city.
They had to have some way of containing them. Like, they wouldn't put
Can
them
you
out there if they
imagine that?
didn't.
They're just like, the mountains will look good over here. And they're just
Also-
walking, like,
But it's
way
just,
down
it's
on
such
the
a
city.
scary thing to think about because imagine, like, being that kid and trying to go to sleep at night and being like, those Torterra could come over here at any moment.
I think the worst thing is seeing a Greninja in live action was just as nasty as I
It
thought
looks
was
so
gonna be.
gross.
I don't know if you've seen Greninja. He's got a scarf that goes around his neck.
Mm-hmm.
It's his tongue.
Ooh.
And they grab people with that. And that's actually how they find him when they're stalking them because spit starts coming down from the ceiling. They look up and there's just this being that's like half tongue. What is with the tongues? Like Lickitung comes in and just like caresses him for like a good 30 seconds.
Yeah. I love. Is it the Manchop, the final evolution of the Machop? The big one with the arms?
Machop, Machamp, Machoke.
Yeah. I love the scene where he's directing traffic around
Oh, yeah.
Snorlax. That was the best
I
thing.
don't remember that. Granted, I was still fiddling with not throwing up for my 3D. I missed a lot of the beginning of the movie.
It was one of the earlier scenes when he gets to the city, but yeah, there's a Snorlax asleep in the middle of the road, and he's directing traffic around it so it doesn't get hit.
I
It's
remember,
so
like
funny.
in the background, the Pangoro trying to deal with his like 4 Pancham kids, like little
Yeah.
things. Like they're just constantly like juggling these kids. It looks like an adult parent trying to take care of his kids.
That's cute.
There's a lot of Pokemon in the background, but I mean, there's not a whole lot of spoilers to this movie that I could talk about that add anything. Like I could tell you the plot of this movie, but it wouldn't really add anything to your knowledge of the movie, honestly. Except
Wild.
Except Bill Nye is in it, so that's something.
Oh, yeah.
Really?
He plays the...
Not Bill Nye, Bill Nye,
The not so science guy.
the Barty McStartfest or Sarty McBartfest. I can't remember.
Slaughter Bartfest.
The bow-tied museum curator in Doctor Who.
Indeed, that is the one. But it looked really good. I think it was like even if the movie
I want
itself,
to hold that Snorlax.
I find it the implications that there's either another or the same Jigglypuff going around writing on people with a marker is interesting.
I loved the Ludicolo in the Chinese restaurant.
Oh yeah.
That made me lose my shit. Just and his eyes go sideways. I was like, oh god, yes.
Yeah, I mean, it was making a
I'm
Pokemon,
over here having to like look up Pokemon to see who you're talking about.
making the first Pokemon movie of this kind, Detective Pikachu, was great because you get to see these Pokemon, because it's a place where like the Pokemon don't battle, even though the example I'm about to give you is where Pokemon were battling because it was an underground cage match. But there's a that Pokemon, the sound one, I can't think of what it's called.
Yeah. I don't know.
Loudtrit or something. It's like this huge mouth and it attacks with sonic waves like. There's a DJ using them as speakers and doing dubstep through them.
Nice.
And it's just the whole thing is just them being part of the culture in that city.
Like the Flintstones.
Maybe. I feel like Flintstones is a bit more slave based, but yeah.
You just got Dino. the only one I remember.
Anyways,
The Gyarados was terrifying, in my opinion.
You know, I mean,
It was scary.
it was good. Yeah, it was especially
Could you
scary
imagine
because
if a Gyarados was your shower?
it was especially scary because you were expecting it to happen and then it didn't. You're like, oh, okay, and you just kind of write it off, and then it does. You're like, oh
Shit.
But yeah, dude, freaking. Oh, fun fact that I just thought of. You know, people are like, oh, Pokemon battles are awful. They hurt the Pokemon, but it's shown in the show that they don't hurt the Pokemon. And yet, in this movie, you have the Charizard that has the scar from the Pokemon battle. And it's like showing they do get hurt. But then I thought about it after the movie, and I realized the reason that these Pokemon are actually getting hurt from these Pokemon battles is because Pokemon battles are outlawed because they can't take the Pokemon to the Pokemon Center because it's against to get them healed.
Yeah.
Which is just a nice little touch on the other stuff. Also, how are they gonna have a mysterious stuff named R and not make Team Rocket the bad guys? Like I was ready. I was expecting it. Like I thought they were gonna change up the script, but nah, that's okay. But it's okay. You know why it's okay? Because I
had Reese Puff cereal for breakfast.
Jesus.
I haven't seen the movie. I'm just here.
I haven't confirmed these rumors, but from what I hear, they're already working on the Mewtwo origin story and the first Pokemon game movie.
Nice.
So they want to go through all these, and which means we're not getting Ash. We're getting the actual characters from the games.
Red?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, red. Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder if they're going to give them real names, though. Or if they're just going to call them Red.
Oh my gosh. No, the best part of the Pokemon of this movie was the scene where the Squirtles were helping the firemen put the fire out. And they were being called city heroes. It was so cute.
We have conversations about that a lot, me and Alicia, because she likes to theorize what Pokemon would do in real life. Like people have Arcanines being like police dogs. That's wrong, in my opinion.
Yo, check out my Fahrenheit 451 Pokemon AU where Charmanders are firemen.
Jesus. Oh yeah. Dude, like the battle with the Charizard to get Charizard off of Pikachu, he starts stepping on his flame tail. That was messed up.
Rough.
But Luxray would be a police dog. You know Luxray? Luxray? Look up Luxray.
I'm working on it.
Do you know what Luxray is? I used him as my starter in Gen 4.
Michael B. Jordan would voice a
Charmander?
What's
Charmeleon.
the middle one? Charmeleon. What am I looking at?
Luxray. Luxray. I think they'd make the great police dogs.
Yeah, they would.
1, they're mildly aggressive. 2, they have really good scent. 3,
They're
fun
black and
fact
blue.
most people don't know about Luxrays, they have X-ray vision.
Oh.
Try and hide from me now, burglars. They'd also make really good search and rescue dogs.
Pokemon AU, where you get those cute little like puppy in training, like the police puppy in training with the too big of vest. But I want one of those. You got the too big
Let me
of
see.
vest.
Of the Shinx.
The too big of vest.
I think,
And
no, that's not the Shinx, that's the middle one. That's a,
that one with the too big of vest. And he's
No,
like,
that
I'm
was-
gonna get
no.
big and mean one day.
yeah, and
Pew pew on the cops.
he really does get meaner as they get older, if you look at the pictures.
I mean, of course.
But, or,
Pokemon Nick Cage.
Jesus. Or Absol. Absol's the one that's got the horn that's coming off the side,
Yeah.
but it's not really a horn. It's used to detect weather, and so like meteorologists would have like Absols to help them like figure out the weather and stuff. Like these are the things me and Alicia talk about all the time, like constantly.
Blastoise is the sheriff of some
I
western
don't
town.
know if a Pokemon would ever. I don't know if a Pokemon. Here's
Everyone
the thing.
loves him because he brings water.
Here's the thing. You notice that the Squirtles. Jesus.
Damn it.
Y'all check out my Pokemon AUs.
Here's
What
a fun
is it
fact.
about Lori shouting the last word of every sentence that makes it funny?
It's not.
Now I
it's
can
just
just
you.
imagine Blastoise walking in now. Yo, I bring water. That Beans video has fucked Lori up.
It has. That's gonna be our next T-shirt. It just says beans on it.
Beans.
I'm made
Me
to
and the boys at 2 a.m. looking for
It's
beans.
not even our content.
Yeah, but it's okay because I made our content because I took that picture of a cat paw and I put beans on it.
If we did have one, it would be birth.
Birth.
Bird. I forgot about that. Water.
And it's just blue and it's a Blastoise.
He's got blasting water out of his
We're gonna
jaw.
make-
and
no.
you were Blastoise's Elmo.
We're gonna make like an Avatar style shirt, and it's gonna be the different, but it's just be us in poses with like the captions: water, fire, earth, air.
Water, beans, birth.
This was supposed to be a short podcast.
Yo, check out our new shirt that's called Yo, check out my new Pokemon AU.
I'm like,
Your mic agrees.
Brad, watch out for your mic. Anyways,
that's all
He's
we
gonna
have to
get
say.
you.
that's all I've got to say about Detective
What?
Pikachu.
It's because this bit here. See, watch. Now it's stabilized.
Pikachu.
Ryan Reynolds did a really good job of playing that sarcastic, like Pokemon. It's like, can you hear him? Pika Pika. It's like, oh, you're such a cutie.
Pika.
It's like, oh no, you're cute. Yeah, she can't understand me, kid.
So Target is selling a Pikachu plush, and if you push his hand, it's like, yo, Pika Pika, Pika Pika. But then you hit his stomach, and you push it again, it's Ryan Reynolds.
And you push it again, it's Danny DeVito. I'm the trash man.
No, you push it again, Dan DeVito just rips out the middle of it.
It's like that scene in Always Sunny where he comes out of the couch, but this time he's clawing his way out of the stomach
I
of a
started
Pikachu.
watching Always Sunny.
I'm so proud.
Thank you.
It's such a great
it's
show.
so funny.
It's so funny.
Have you seen the interview where they talked to him about people wanting him to be the mask, wanting him to be Detective Pikachu?
Really?
His response is, "What the hell is Pokemon?" I was like, that's fair.
Can we have that on the
Season
show
7.
too?
I think it's season 7 is the best season because that's the season where Mac is fat.
I'm on like season 2, I
Okay.
think. Because
I've
I
seen
looked
just
up,
gets
I
better.
looked up, and I didn't realize Charlie Day's actually married to the waitress.
Yes.
And I was like, oh, that's cute.
They were married, I think, before that show even
I
aired.
literally just got to Danny DeVito's character
Okay.
in it.
I've seen the first episode.
I've seen the first episode 4 times because I always am like, I'm gonna start this show, and then I watch that one, and then something else happens, so I might watch like an episode or 2, and then it'll be like 4 months later, and I'm like, I'm gonna start watching this show.
It's such a good show.
But I got nothing else to add to this.
Me neither. Detective Pikachu, 7 out of 10.
Check out my Pokemon AU.
Go see
It's
Detective Pikachu.
6 to 8 out of 10, depending. And don't be cynical. What did that really cynical jackass say?
I didn't like this movie. It had too many talking animals. Their
Hold on.
mouths moved.
Animals don't
I
talk.
preferred Homeward Bound back whenever animals didn't have to move their mouths for you to know that they talked. You saw Shadow and you knew Shadow was the one talking. You saw
can't wait for
Sassy and you
the-
were like, oh, Sassy.
I can't wait for the Cinema Sins video of Detective Pikachu. It's just going to start out and Jeremy's going to be like, animals can't talk. Ding, 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 ding. All the sins. Because that's how Cinema Sins is.
Anyways. Oh, God.
Anyway, no need for me to get cynical over Cinema Sins.
Okay, so there's just one a-hole. And I'm not nearly as mad as I was, because, like, I've gotten to the point where...
Ooh.
I've gotten to the point where I'm not mad anymore. I'm just...
Disappointed.
I pity him for being so stupid. But
Pokemon are clearly supposed to be cartoons, and this all looked live
Yeah.
action.
here's his review. Detective Pikachu isn't a movie. It's a cog in a multi-billion-dollar media empire, a soulless feature-length example of product placement at its most blatant. This so-called film never bothers to tell a story worth telling or developing characters worth caring about. It populates the screen with brightly colored gallery of grotesques that make the inhabitants of Star Wars' infamous cantina seem normal by comparison, and uses brief news clips to function as world building.
Milady.
And here's my thing.
Imagine being so uptight over
No,
a
no, no,
kid's
no,
movie.
Imagine having your
I'll
head
tell you the
so
same thing.
far up your
This is
butt.
why I read that and I was just so mad. I was like, this guy needs to take his pretentious, moronic, self-deluded halitosis ass and take it somewhere else. And Alicia goes, halitosis? Like bad breath? I was like, yeah, anyone that has their head that far up their own ass has to have breath that smells like shit. And she's like, you need to calm down. I was like, I'm mad. I was so mad. I was just so sick of people that day.
I don't get going into these deep, in-depth reviews on, it's like, oh, well, I think, da-da-da-da. It's a freaking movie with Pikachu being voiced by Ryan Reynolds. Like, I'm still just shocked that we didn't all have some fever dream hallucination. I haven't believed this movie was real. I still don't believe it's real.
Okay,
I think I'm going to
agree?
get in there.
I just, random thought. You were talking about movies that shouldn't exist. I thought about the Mario Brothers movie because we were talking about the other day. Can we get a Super Mario Brothers movie where
Ryan Reynolds plays a Goomba.
Ryan Reynolds is Luigi and Danny DeVito is Mario? It would make no sense, and it would be terrible, and I would love every second of it.
Luigi, where's my toe knife?
Oh, man, do I have a video to show you guys when I'm done with this? Oh, boy, it's not good.
They're called Mario twins.
I have a whole bunch of screenshots of a whole bunch of egg-roll, because I was really going to, do a episode that was just me reviewing reviewers, me critiquing critics. But it's just not worth it. They're just
do you
not worth
ever
my time.
pop your
Let's
neck
do
and
that
feel like
after I've seen the new Godzilla, so I can do the same thing with some Godzilla reviews.
Sure, why not? Yeah, we'll do them all at the same time.
Huh?
Godzilla, the
How
god
long have we been recording? Jesus.
God.
I don't know when we started, but we're like an hour in.
all
Yeah.
the Zillas.
Oh, okay.
The Zillas.
I mean, do we have anything else we want to talk about? I'd like to record more episodes so I could split them up, but
Yeah, let's do it.
what else do we have left to talk about besides him and John Wick? We'll do a short John Wick.
I mean, the thing is, I can talk about John Wick, but I don't think it would. I have enough to say to last a whole episode.
That doesn't have to be a whole episode.
Well, okay, I'll just do it now.
No. Lori, sign us off.
Stay tuned for John Wick review.
That's your theme song now.
That
is
Girl from Godzilla is calling, and when he calls, it's like he calls it ooh.
What the fuck are you singing? That's not how that song goes.
It is now.
Boy, that was...
So
I'll never be okay. So, story. I was
I just
on the
got
phone
really
with
dizzy.
someone. I can't remember if it was an IT place or like a bank, but that was what they were playing as their
Girl from Ipanema.
Yeah, and it was going on for so long that I just started singing along with it. And so when this person answered the phone, all they heard was me singing that song, and I was just like, "I'm sorry." Okay. Anyways, sign us off.
So, if you've seen Detective Pikachu, or if you've played a game with the Pokemon in it,
Those are also known as Pokemon games.
yeah, sure, whatever. If you've done,
Oh, boy.
so
So like such a grandma thing to say. I got you them games with the Pokemon in it.
Might as well just signed off going Pika Pika over and over again.
Yeah, you can play as that Ash boy, Ash Ketchup.
You ready to battle Ash? My name is Ash.
So if you've seen Detective Pikachu or play any of the Pokemon games, or there's like a Detective Pikachu game too, right?
Yes.
I'm such a gamer. But let us know what you thought of the movie. If you listened to all of this, I'm sorry.
We're getting worse, and I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad
But
thing.
let us know what you thought, because we value your opinion.
I haven't slept in 2 days.
You can email us at nerdlykingdom@gmail.com.
I'm so tired.
Hit us up on our Twitter at @the_nerddom.
My cats won't stop meowing.
You can get us on Instagram at @nerdlykingdom,
That's the one.
or on Facebook with the same name.
Dude, I haven't updated our Facebook in a hot minute.
It's okay. I typically, anytime you post something on Instagram, I'll immediately go and just share it to our Facebook page.
Our cover is still Infinity War.
Yeah.
Which, honestly, I
Hey,
might just keep.
if you're a music person or an art person or a person,
Or
And
a person that does music, or a person that does art.
no, if you are literally a walking piece of art, we need
Are you a person that has music in your brain?
Music
Like
in your
games that have
brain,
Pokemon
music in
there?
your soul.
make us a theme song. give us a cover page for our social media. We'll pay you, I guess.
No, we won't.
We could have money.
We don't.
Oh.
No one's put anything in the money pot in like months now.
17 years. You can add to the money pot by messaging Brad on how to do that.
Honestly, that's not a bad idea.
Add to the money pot.
You can add to the money pot by throwing your coins into the
We're
sewer.
gonna start a Patreon so like 2 people can join it.
Yes.
Send me
Hey,
money in the mail
we
so I
wanna
can pay
make
my bills.
We want to make one of those Patreons where you give us money and we give you stuff that's probably not worth that money, but we appreciate it.
Can we
Let
do
us-
a tier of Patreon that's like donate this much for William's bills?
It's the $0 tier.
Yeah. Let us know
I wanted
some
300,
ideas
but
of
okay.
things that we could do to make you guys want to give us $5 a month.
You know, you joke, but if someone did that joke just the one time, we're still up $300.
I can
So-
pay my bills.
So yeah, what would you want us to do to make you pay us $5
God,
a
we'll
month?
do anything.
Well, the thing is, okay, let's tangent off a little bit. We signed off enough. We also do we stream on Nerdly Kingdom stream every now and then. We play random video games. Me, Josh, Dakota, and Alicia just tried to do Dead by Daylight. That was the disaster, and it was fun. Mm-hmm. So I was thinking we could combine those or at some point. Like, hey, $5 here, and we'll talk about a movie. Like, that's one of the things we could do maybe. Pick an old movie, and we'll review that old movie. We really need to do that.
I still stand by. I think that for like one of our cheap like bottom tier things, have William take a picture of anything he feels like he could be walking and be like, this is poo that happens to have gum in it on the street. I'm going to take a picture of it. No one else in the world sees this.
Did someone put that gum in the poo? Or did the gum not get digested and come out with the poo?
But
these are the questions.
This picture is shared with no one except for the Nerdly Kingdom crew and whatever tier of Patreon.
Wait, shh. I hear the ice cream truck.
I feel like you're
This
just
ice cream
setting
truck's
up
here.
for me to send nudes to our Patreon supporters.
That's a much higher tier.
Yeah, we'll save that for like the higher bucks. It's
Okay.
like we have this whole plan to just
Give
like
me $300. I'll send you as many nudes as you want.
noodles.
I'll record sounds of me chewing for all you freaks out there that get off on that.
William's bitter ASMR sexy chewing. I don't know.
It's ASMR. It's angry ASMR.
Just the whole thing.
What was that?
That was a demonstration. That was a
the-
taste.
I will pay you to never do that again.
Hey, that could be another tier list.
Whatever gets me money.
Then we make those two tiers battle, and then whichever one of those gives us the most money,
No.
that's
Jesus Christ,
the
this
one
is
who
too much
wins.
effort for me.
If you ever leave the ASMR tier list because you don't like it, we will forcibly send it to you until you join the no ASMR tier list.
It's too complicated
I
now.
want to do a mailing list. And I don't know how.
I don't either.
Any of you people listening smart can tell me how to do
It can't be
that.
that hard. Google it. How do you think I do
I've
any
tried
of this stuff? I
Googling
Googled
it.
Oh,
Just
never
send me
mind.
money and I'll send you a funny joke you can tell to your crush to get her to like you.
That's not how crushes work at all.
Send me money, and I will teach you how to shout random words that you say. Beans.
Send us money so Bulbasaur,
Send us money for
Bulbasaur can take
beans.
water to the village.
I really thought he was going to say so Bulbasaur can get his beans.
Check out my Pokemon AU where
just
instead of Bulbasaur
a
with water,
picture
it's Bulbasaur
Of
with beans.
Bulbasaur and a can of beans and just say, oh, help Bulbasaur get to his beans. All right, Jesus Christ, we need to end this. Bye, everybody. Thank you all for listening to our trash.
I'm the trash man.
We're a dumpster fire, but we make you laugh.
Do we?
Yes, we do, or else.
Then stop.
Damn my phone.
Okay.
I just texted Maggie and told her I was eating tendies, and it changed it to tenders. And I was like, damn it, you ruined it.
Why don't you,
You should
say
just-
tendies as a word in your phone?
Because that's too much work,
You
Lori.
should send, I meant tendies. Dang autocorrect. Just really double down
Don't
on
even
it.
dang autocorrect. Just go tendies and put the asterisk
Yeah.
to the side.
Tendies.
That's another William problem right there.
Oh, he knows. Jacob called him out on it in one of the other podcasts.
Oh, I know.
He's like, oh, I'm eating candy during this one. Now I'm William. nom, 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 nom.
No, my response to that is to double down on my candy eating and make it more annoying, just to piss Jacob off.
We're gonna get some like weird fetish group following us just to
Good,
listen
they
to...
can send me money to hear me chew on candy.
I mean,
I'm down for it.